introduce the teams. Are you guys ready? Okay. Let's get pumped up. Let's get pumped up. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Ezra, take it over.
As in now. We can't do it without music if we want, but I mean, whatever. First, you'll be announcing the blue team. Yeah. As in the color blue.
Thank you. Here we go. Oh yeah.
Now we're cooking with butter. The captain for the blue team, rescued from a Cuban refugee camp when he was 4, once held the land speed record, Alex Ward. Traveled for 7 seas in an Indian ship. She can't believe it's not butter. Casey Olsen. Next up for the blue team, he has absolutely no cousins, but most likely to be lactose intolerant in high school, Luke Chancellor. Doc, because he's the doctor of love. He'll bounce your checkbook voluntarily, Austin Hunter. Red team, the captain. He doesn't speak a lick of English, but we still love him. The thrill from Brazil, Tom Schwartz. She shines shoes in her spare time. If you ask her to stop making you laugh, she'll say no. Oh, agony! Next up for the red team, the current heir to the Nigerian throne. He's a terrible dancer, Steve Bobbitt! Certainly not least for the red team, formerly known as the human kite. He weighs absolutely nothing. Steven Weiser!
All right. Sweet. Could I have the 2 team captains come up to the front and shake hands before we get going? We're going to have a civil game tonight. Would you guys please shake hands? No funny business tonight? All right, great. Does anybody have a coin? We need to do a coin toss to start off this game. Could somebody give me a coin? Perhaps? Somebody got a coin? Don't throw it too hard. Thank you. Perfect. Thank you. You don't get it back, sorry. Alex, we're calling in here.
Tails.
It's tails. You both call tails. So.
What are you doing?
So we're going to do a group game to start off. Why don't we get all the teams, both the teams lined up here up front, alternating. The first game we're going to play is called Chapter Book. Yes, this is a really fun game, Chapter Book. I'm going to need a lot of help from the audience in this one. The way this game works is that the teams are going to be telling a story, and I am going to be determining which member of each team is telling the story at any given time by pointing at them. And in the middle of a sentence, I might jump over and point at another player, and that person will have to take over telling the story at that exact point. If they repeat a word or they hesitate for more than a second, I will blow my whistle, and they will be eliminated from the game. The team that wins is the team that has the last player standing. And so the first thing I'm going to need from you, the audience, is some suggestions to get us going on our story. So first thing I need is a time period.
Medieval. 1863. Jurassic.
I heard medieval times. Medieval times. The medieval times. Could I get a story genre?
Sci-fi.
What? A western? A western? Can we do a western? So it's a medieval western. Well, let's forget the medieval. Let's just make it western then. Let's make it western. Let's make it western. Let's get an occupation. Can I get an occupation? A dental hygienist? A dental hygienist in the western setting. I like that. I like that. Dental hygienist. That's great. That's great. This is going to be fantastic. The last thing I need is the name of the main character in our story.
Bill Collins.
Did I hear Clarence? I like Clarence. No, Clarence. Clarence. Good choices. Good choices. So, players, your suggestions are Western theme, a dental hygienist, and the main character is named Clarence. So let's pick up on the first page of the first chapter of the story of Clarence. Starting now.
It was a warm day on the ranch that summer night. Where Clarence and his beautiful family, Marie, Kobe, and Terry, were out in the barn playing with the cattle again. And the youngest little calf named Billy Bob was just being a maniac that night, just running to and fro in the farm and barn and just kind of playing with the ducks a little bit. And it was just kind of weird. And Clarence turned
to the cattle as he strapped up his boots and he said, "Cattle,
I don't care for you very much. I'm a dental hygienist. I'm not
A cattle rancher. He decided to pursue his occupation as a
dental hygienist and headed towards the town of
Winchesterville. This is a very small town, and
without any floss. This was a problem.
A town without any floss? I don't know. Sorry, Hope. I think you're looking at that. Sorry. Let's pick up in the town of Winchesterville, the story of Clarence.
in Winchesterville. And there he was. He started a firm of dental hygienists.
Full time. There was a lot of
people in the town that needed
dental care. And they also have a 401k package, which is very nice with some benefits on the side.
But actually, he was the only person that worked there, so it was great because
he knew that he would make a ton of money because everybody in this town's team was horrible. Although they did have a small bit of floss. They had one
small amount of toothbrushes. These toothbrushes weren't ordinary.
They were extraordinary. They did something that no other toothbrush could do.
they were hybrids.
A hybrid toothbrush? Sorry. Okay. So the story of Clarence and his dental practice in Chesterville. Let's fast forward. Let's flip forward to chapter 5 of the book, where Clarence has a pretty well-established dental business in the community now, and he's about to be surprised by an unexpected trial in his life. The story picks up in chapter 5.
Clarence was once again hovering over a patient. And this patient, as he opened his mouth,
he had no teeth. And Clarence didn't know what to do because
He was like, wow, that's really gross. And all of a sudden, from the street, there was a doctor that was in town. He said, Clarence, I'm calling you out. I'm a real dentist. This town ain't big enough for the both of us. There's going to be a standout in Winchesterville. It wasn't going to be pretty. There was
14,000 people there.
Sorry, you're hesitating. I'm sorry, Austin, you're eliminated. Nice try. Let's pick up at the stand-up.
They face it.
You hesitated more than a second, Alex. I'm sorry. You hesitated. I'm sorry, Alex. You got it. I'm sorry. Let's jump forward to the last chapter of the book, which is titled Clarence, a new chapter of my life, in which Clarence and the local doctor decided to join forces and team up and form a dental conglomerate so that they could monopolize the community and make lots of money. We pick up here.
so Clarence and this other doctor named Zimby, they started their business and it was going great.
Until Dr. Zimby started to get a little greedy.
He was just really trying to, I don't know.
Let's try it again. Pick it up. Dr. Zimby. Dr. Zimby and dentist Clarence. Here we go.
He began foraging dental supplies behind Clarence's back. And then he decided to go public with the company and buy all the shares himself.
And this made Clarence very angry because if he had all the shares,
Then what was Clarence supposed to do? He decided to go back to his cattle.
and his cattle he did not like very much.
And his family didn't know how they were going to pull through this kind of mess, you know? This kind of disaster. This is homewrecker kind of disaster. And they began to come up with new
Ideas because they realized that all the cattle.
We're now sicker than I...
Oh, we're going to the left! To the left! Here we go! Clarence and Glimpy? Zimby! Clarence and Zimby! Let's see how the story ends with Clarence and Zimby!
And Clarence decided to leave Zimby and head west. West where there's opportunity, lots of
Opportunities because out west there's nowhere to stop because it always continues because there's no east.